Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. Today I'm going to show you the second new binding method. This one is the elastic accordion binding method, and it is in the Basically Amazing Scrap Journal add-on that I just released a few videos back. And this one is, let me show you the prototype really fast. This one is where we're going to have, whoops, the elastic inside of the accordion, right? So we have to do that first. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The other new add-on that we have, that I just released a few days ago, is the Basically Amazing Decorative Edges add-on. And this new binding is the stitched accordion binding, which can be found on page 6.1 through 6.5, and this one can be found on page 6.1 through 6.4. But the last video I did, the first new binding I wanted to show you was the stitched accordion. So I will link this video up here in the cards and down below in the description box if you want to check it out. But super easy, right? So I wanted to do quick videos. Actually didn't turn out to be that quick, did it? But I wanted to just do those videos first, so if you wanted to go ahead and get a jump on making your albums, you won't have to wait on the binding. So with the other binding, this one that I just did, I just published the video for this one. You have to stitch the pages in before you add the binding piece into your album. Okay, but for this one, you don't have to have the pages on the binding just yet. You have to have the cording in the binding strips before you put it into your album. Okay, so I'll explain. So let me move this one. I'll link down below all of the new stuff, the Basically Amazing add-ons. This one's the scrap journal, and the other one is the decorative edge. And there's two decorative edges. One of them is charming, one of them is graceful, and graceful's not out quite yet, but I am working hard to get that out as well. So what you're going to need, so let's see, there's 4 different binding pages. I even spelled accordion wrong, I think. It may just look like that because of the font, but that's funny, isn't it? But anyway, neither here nor there. This is the elastic, the accordion elastic binding. So you can have 3 pages with a 1/2 inch gusset, 2 pages with a 1/2 inch gusset. We have 4 pages with a 1/4 inch gusset and 2 pages with a 1/4 inch gusset. So I just printed off the 2-page one. And so far, you guys, I have gotten amazing feedback on the new bindings and the new add-ons. But I did want to tell you guys that these bindings, they're just a combination of other styles of bindings. And if I would have thought, maybe I can find it really quick. I don't know if I can or not. But I found a photo a long time ago, and I think I actually showed it to you guys when I first released the Basically Amazing. I'm not real sure. But I found I ran across a binding method that I thought was just amazing. I mean, it's perfect. I think I might have to go pretty far back. Let's see, because we're still in 2020. This heck of a year we've been having, huh? I'm pretty sure it was last year that I found it. Oh, all right, slow down. Let's see. Okay, well, I've searched for 10 minutes in my photos, can't find it. I even did a Google search, can't find it. When I run across it, I will share it with you guys again. But anyway, it was a really super old binding method. Kind of like what we did with the stitching binding. You know, it had this part, you know, the fin part, and then everything was stitched into it, but you could like literally see, I don't know, it was like, it's hard to explain, but that's where the ball got rolling. So these aren't new methods. It's just we don't really use them in our scrapbook album makings and our mini album makings and our journal makings these days. So I thought about it, and figured out a way that we can incorporate this method and make our lives a little bit easier, I think. in our album making, a little bit easier to use. So I went ahead and trimmed this out, and on this piece here, you'll see that there's like little notches. You want to take, you don't have to do it now, but you want to kind of take a hole punch and just go ahead and notch, go ahead, and notch those little pieces out. Again, these are just the wings. If you want to attach these two parts here are just wings if you want to attach to the book. And since this is just a 1/4 of an inch gusset, you may want to do that. But otherwise, you don't have to have that on there at all. And I'm going to grab the scoreboard and we're going to score. Let's see. I think I'm just going to score the parts that need to be scored right now. So what I've done is I've designed this binding method to accommodate the elastic cording. So I tried it many times without changing any measurement, and it did not work. So now I'm going to go and prep all of those score marks. And this is so easy, you guys, so easy. I'm going to go the other way. I like to do it both ways. You don't have to. It's totally personal preference. So this is just going to be like a prototype, just a quick demonstration. Just a quick demonstration, because you know how quick I am about things. Not. Okay. So then, once we got it all prepped, let me show you. It's going to look like this. So these two here are the fins that are going to house the what's it called? The cording. Okay. You could also do a combination of the stitch fins and the elastic. Where did I put that one? So in the mock-up that I do when I'm developing new templates, since I was doing all of these at the same time, I created one that would kind of hold everything. So in this one, I did both of the elastic is through, whoa, what was that? The elastic is in there, and I stitched onto these fins. So you can incorporate both of them. And all you would have to do would be take the template for the stitched binding. Well, you can just make your own holes up if you want to, and you know, put holes on this fin as well, if you wanted to do that. So, but again, before you seal everything up, you would have to have the things stitched onto that fin. Okay, so you can totally add both. All right, so let's see. So now I'm going to mark this again. So there's where the cording is going to sit. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add the tape. So this is 3/8 inch. Oh, no, wait, no, I'm not. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the tie-back. We used this in the last video with the other binding. It's covered in a full sheet of the, I did like a whole sheet and covered the back with the double-sided adhesive. So this is tie-back, and I'm going to cut it into strips. And I think I'm going to do the, whoops, whoa, I see what's happened. The 3/4 of an inch again. So I'm going to cut 2 strips. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to see it. One there, one there. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from you guys on the new bindings, and I just say I knew you guys were going to love them. I knew it. Just wait till you put them into use, where you actually start using them. You are going to be just like, where has this been my whole life? Once you get the hang of it. Again, this is another one you may want to make a little mock-up, make you a little prototype practice if you want to, before you like use expensive scrapbook paper or your favorite vintage papers. So again, I'm just going to line this up. It's a little bit shorter. Oh, I better cut that edge off. It's exposed. It's a little bit shorter than the binding piece here. And I'm gonna put this on here. It's gonna go all the way down. So this is just reinforcing that fold so it won't tear. Okay, let's put this one on. So however many peaks you have, you need a strip of this tie-back. And I guess you don't have to have tie-back. I guess you could use muslin fabric or even cotton fabric, I guess. I've never tried that, so I can't. I've never tried that for this type of thing anyway. So I can't really say, whoop. Let me cut that off just a little bit. Okay. All right. And burnish that down. So now I am going to burnish that and reinforce that once again to get that tie-back working the way I want it to work. Alright. So now we got those two with tie-back. Alright, now I'm going to take the score tape and I'm going to put it on here. I might put it on each. So I'm going to come, okay, this is important. Let me scoot you in. And hopefully it will stay in focus. Okay, so you see here's where the score is. Well, I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to get as far away from that score as I can without going over the next score mark. Okay, you do not want the adhesive in the middle there. Okay, and then I am going to use two pieces, I think. Or one on each side of this fin. Same thing, as far away from, am I in frame? Yeah, as far away from the center as you can get it. All right, let's burnish those in. All right, so the next step. Oh, let me scooch back out just a little bit. You might be, well, did you see, could you tell what I was doing? Is it gonna focus now? Probably not. There we go. So this is the center and we're actually almost a 1/4 inch away from it, the tape is, okay? So we've got like a big open spot right there and we want that. So let me zoom you back out now. All right, next thing we wanna do. This is some elastic cording. It might actually be hard to get a hold of right now. Maybe not. I put it in my Amazon list. I have that link down below. I put it in white and I put it in black. A lot of people are using this for masks, but I can't imagine that being comfortable on your ear, but I guess it is. I've had this one for quite some time. We've been using it. We've been making a lot of different types of travelers notebooks and things. So what you're gonna want is 1, 2 1/2. I don't know, that might, I cannot remember. Let's do 2 1/2 lengths and see if that works. Of this piece here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay it, well, you're gonna lay it in that groove that you left, adhesive free, and you're gonna turn it around, flip it over, and just tie. You don't even have to have it super tight. Just, you know, it needs to be, it doesn't need to be bending your binding paper. It just needs to be attached. So it looks like 2 1/2 might have been too much. Look at all this, right? So let's try 2. So of course you need 1 for each fin. Okay. And I'm gonna flip this over and put that in the groove. Put it in those little notches there so they're not, oh look, look. Okay, so 2 may not be enough, but I'm gonna use it. Oh, maybe I better not. Dang it! 2 1/2 it is, fine. 1, 2 1/2. I'm sure that's probably way too much now, but for demonstration purposes, we're just going with it. Okay. Yeah, that's way too much. All right. So then, once again, we are going to just tie it to where it's just tight enough. And you don't really want it to be bending the paper up too much, but you don't really want it to be too loosey-goosey either. Okay? So, just to, look, it's a little tight, but quit it. All right, so now we've got this. It keeps doing that. All right, that's okay. Boop. So that's what these grooves are for to accommodate for that elastic piece going around there, and it just kind of helps keep it from tearing anything. All right, so now I'm going to take the backing off of one fin on both sides. Now this can be a little tricky because you're encasing the elastic into this fin. So the elastic is going to want to move because it's obviously dimensional where the paper wants to lay flat. So, oops, did it move? No, it didn't. We're good. So, at least I don't think it did. No. Okay, so then you want to burnish it. So you just burnish it. What is in the way? Just like that. I'm going to flip it over, burnish it on this side. Burnish, burnish, burnish. So I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? See, it did move just slightly right here, but that's okay. And you kind of do want it to be a little free. That's why we didn't put liquid adhesive or anything in there. And then on the back side, so this is that fin all closed up. Okay, so you see that? You see that right there? Right? Okay, let's do the other one really quick. Okay, we're gonna remove the backing, the paper backing off of that tape. And then we're gonna try to get that folded over, burnish that up really good. Flip that over. Do this side. Looks like, oh no, that's okay. So then put it back this way. Now see? Now look what we have. We just have 1/4 of an inch between those two fins. Okay, can you see? And now we've got two fins that have elastic in between, and now you would then take this piece. Let me scoot you back just a little. So you would then take this piece and put this into the spine of your covers, okay? Because then you'd be good to go. Once you get that cording in there, you are good to go with adding it into your spine. Let me find the middle here. Right, so this is that piece, except this is the 1/2 inch gusset. So once you get this assembled like this, you attach it down to your spine of choice, whatever you're using, and then you are good to go. You just need to then add whatever it is. Like for example, this one, you know, this was the hybrid game-changing version, right? Where this is like where we build scrapbook album, mini album pages that are literally removable, so you can move them around. So you would add things like that into your elastic. So then you would be able to tighten this up if you need to or whatever. You can ink. I like to get white because you can ink it up if you need to, if it's too glaring or if you want to put a color onto it or whatever. So that's why I always tend to gravitate towards white, but I do have black as well. But anyway, so that's it. It's just as simple as that. So I just wanted to show you. Hopefully it was quicker than the last video. Just show you how easy it is to accommodate, to add your accordion into your fins, and how nice it is and how much room it gives you in between your fins and your signatures, and it's just lovely. Or you could do a hybrid version of memory keeping where you have both traveler's notebook style albums, and then you also have scrapbook mini album type pages all in one. So I'm super excited. I think you guys are going to love it. I think you're going to play around with this quite a bit, and I think that you're going to see it's so nice to be able to move things around. Of course, it's not permanent. You can make it permanent if you want to, but it's nice because now you're going to be able to move things around if your book gets too thick, or you didn't like that page assembly and you're like, I don't want to start over. You just take that out. Or if you want to rearrange your pages, you just easy peasy pull it out, move it around. You're good to go. So I'm super loving this binding. So again, everything will be linked down below. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got it linked down below, the other stitched accordion binding, if you want to check that out. Both of them are super easy. They're just new methods that we're going to be using in our memory keeping, and I'm super excited. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.